I love your dog.
Quickly enough.
They're a little flirty.
Is that a trait? Because they're corgis, right?
Oh yes, very much.
That's their
dogs.
trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, you. And
I have a Cocker Spaniel.
Okay.
He's not here right now, but hey, what's your opinion on Alberta independence?
Oh, not a fan.
Not
No
a fan?
way.
Nope.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, but I really would prefer not to be recorded.
Okay.
Turn around.
Well, I can blur your face out. I just like to ask, like, so what gives you hope for the future of Canada?
Okay. My family made the choice to immigrate to Canada.
Oh, no,
Northern
okay.
Ireland.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
1978,
Okay.
and we chose to come to Canada.
Right.
We didn't choose to come to Alberta. We chose to come to Canada because of the values that are reflected
Okay.
in Canada.
Okay.
And unfortunately, at this point in time, I see a fair degree of schism between where Alberta may be going and
Right.
those Canadian values that drew us to this country in the first place.
Yeah.
What are some of the Canadian values?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Which year did you come?
78.
78.
Yeah.
You were very young.
I was young. It was a choice on my parents' part, but yes, they did not want to raise a family in Northern Ireland in the middle of the Troubles.
Okay.
I can
Which I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And have you lived in Alberta that whole time?
Oh, yes.
Really? So this is home.
Yes, very much.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. So then what are because a lot of the people that we talk to say the same thing as you. And then there's also people who say, but the values don't match anymore. Like what we see isn't like politically, I guess, really, because it's a political issue, right? What we're saying politically, those values don't match. And so what values still match in your mind?
Okay. I believe that Canadians value a strong social safety net.
Okay.
And I believe that we're eroding that in the province of Alberta year by year. And it causes me great concern. I believe that we value higher education. I believe that we value a balanced, fair, and liberal democracy. And I'm horrified, frankly, at the changes that I see in Alberta at this point in time, where we step away from the concept of the social safety net. We are eroding that by the minute. We do not seem to value education. We do not seem to value the professions. We negotiate ferociously against them at every opportunity. And the concept of a liberal democracy is eroded when you see things like the Centurion Project acquiring data illegally and potentially using it for horrible purposes.
Well, I can't argue with you on that one. I can't argue with you on that one. So then going back to the liberal democracy, there's a lot of people that are not thrilled at all with the floor crossers. Is that part of liberal democracy, or are you kind of...
I believe that, yes, we do have the ability to have people choose to cross the floor. Now, it's probably appropriate in circumstances like that to have a by-election. I really don't want to be on camera.
Don't, just turn it to me.
Yeah. So in cases like that, there probably should be a by-election.
Yeah.
That's conducted so people have the opportunity to reflect on whether or not the positions that are being espoused by the number for a lot align with their, or they chose to vote for political fray.
Well, that's or both, right? Like if you cast your vote for the person and then they were like, nah, forget it, I'm just gonna go over here and sit on this side. Like I'd be kind of ticked if that was my member of parliament.
Historically, traditionally,
Okay.
outside of Alberta, I believe deeply that people vote for the person and the values that they reflect. It's only recently in the province of Alberta that we have seen an absolutely monumental overreach on the part of our UCP leadership to reach in and dictate the everyday governance activities of elected MLAs.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I was talking about like federally.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And I think it is really difficult at this point in time to dissociate the political environment in Canada and the political environment in Alberta. They are directly, consistently positioned by Alberta government as vehemently opposed.
Right.
And so when government here speaks regularly about the fact that all of Alberta's ills are due to federal mistreatment, it is impossible to take them apart.
I think so. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, guys, thank you.
I just want to say thank you, and I will completely blur your face out.
I don't want to.
No, I'll completely blur it out. Yeah, don't worry.
You were the first person to actually stop and talk, and I'm so grateful that. And I appreciate the discourse, but I don't want. I don't want to be.
Yeah, I respect that.
No, it's okay.
I am recording a YouTube video, so I'm just going to back up then because I want to continue recording.
Yeah, most excellent.
So thank you so much.
Oh, and a new one.
No, never
Bye up there.
Everywhere. They're everywhere.
As soon as I fix my mic here,
I would blur.
I'll blur it all out. But my view is like if you're willing to continue talking to me, and you say I don't want to be recorded, but then you continue talking to me, you're actually giving me consent, and so I don't need consent. Well, that's fine, and that's fine. I will blur your face out though.
I'll make sure of it. I'll make sure of it.
Yeah, don't worry. So you don't need permission when you talk to people in public. Yeah. Have a great day. God bless you. So this is interesting perspective that she shared, though. She's really angry at the conservative government, right? Yeah. And so am I. I'm angry at the conservative government too. I want to throw off all of this. I think the Westminster system for the conservative government is the same as for the federal government. I want to throw it all off.
Well, I think what's missing is it's the system.
Yeah.
The system is broke. Like the system's not broken actually, because we've said it works like it's supposed to from Ottawa's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just.
But so like I talked to Jason Steffen, he's an MLA.
Yeah.
And I told him to his face, I mean, thank you for saying this. Tell us to go sign the petition, but tell us if you support it or not. If you don't support it, like, I want to fire you. That's what I said. And it was a very kind of provocative way to say it. But I want the whole system of government to be changed. I want a completely new constitution, completely new system of government. Am I a bit of a radical here?
No, well, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
But we need to be careful when we're doing this to not put current politicians in a corner.
Right.
Like that, right? We need to be careful to not ask them, because it's not time to do that yet.
Yeah.
This has to be a movement of the people, by the people.
Yeah.
So by putting the politicians in a corner or demanding that they do what we tell them to do right now, well, no, we actually didn't. We didn't elect any of them to do this. None of them.
Yeah.
We did not elect any of them to do this. So this is for us to do. And once that referendum passes, then we bring in the politicians, but not a moment before.
Yeah. No, I kind of see that whole point of view, right? Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, my thing is, look, you're a leader. Like, if you're a politician, you're a leader. You lead. And in a moment like this, there's no chance, there's no middle ground. And I get it. So politicians can say, we're going to play the middle ground and see how we try to win the next election. That's exactly what I'm against. I want our politicians to pick a side, and then I don't want to decide who to vote. Because I'm not going to vote next time for a UCP candidate who says he or she is against independence. I'm not going to vote for them.
Okay, so what if you have then, this is a good argument to have. Okay, so what if you have a really solid UCP MLA who takes a stand and says, yep, you know what, completely against it. But they're a solid, like, you really like this person.
Yeah.
And they say, no, you know what, I'm against it.
Yeah.
And then the referendum passes.
Yeah.
And then what?
So like they're against it, but the referendum passes. In my mind, when a referendum passes, I'm kind of going off of what I hear Jeff and these guys saying is we're going to have a constitutional conference. And I imagine there's going to have to be, like, Danielle Smith is going to have to either resign or lead us out of this. And I pretty much expect she's going to resign at that point. And so the whole government's going to fall. And then we're going to have our constitutional conference, or they're going to negotiate us out. Because I think Danielle Smith has some grace and poise. She would kind of recognize if it was a really clear majority, she would probably lead us out to the point where it's like, okay, here now, make your decisions after this. Mm-hmm. I'm just speculating, but like,
I think they need to stay out of it for right now. I think if we do not have the will of the people behind this, and we leave it, and we get lazy and leave it in the hands of the politicians, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I come from.
Well, and it doesn't diminish anything if a politician stands up. Like, I kind of envision myself, if I was a politician and this issue was happening, I would stand up and say, I would do it. And I don't care what the party politics would say. I'd be like, I support this. You know, they can do that on every other issue.
Well, and wouldn't it be nice if we had a political system where you could?
Yeah.
But right now we don't. We're in a political system where there's a party whip.
Yeah.
So they can't. So I think you've brought up another point too without even realizing it. Oh, hello, you. You found some water somewhere. Hello. Yeah, you did. You found some water somewhere. Hello.
Well, and a lot of people pushed back at me, right? They thought I was too hard on Jason for that. and I think he probably does support it and he'll vote for it.
Oh, yeah.
But like he encouraged everybody to go sign the petition and he made that very clear. But then at the same time, like, what would I do if the UCP candidate was against independence but was like awesome for everything else? I'm a bit of a nihilist at that point because like Canada's lost no matter what. Vote NDP and watch the thing burn quicker.
Well, and I think the other thing we have to remember is that if it passes whatever verbiage you want to use,
Yeah.
the referendum, that means we may or may not have another provincial election, depending how quickly the negotiation process happens, right?
Yeah.
Because next year's election year, 2027.
Yeah.
And so depending, the election we have might be for a completely different government. So let's not make enemies of the ones we have now.
No. What's going on
I
here?
just love how friendly these dogs are.
Hey, what's your opinion on Alberta independence?
I don't really have one. No?
No?
You were swimming.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much.
You were swimming. You said
I love coming to the dog park. Well, yeah, I mean, this is a harsh one, but I've kind of speculated this too, because if Danielle Smith tanks this movement, like say she does something to just tank it, you know, I'm gonna be really bitter. I'm not gonna lie, and I might just say screw it. I'm voting NDP, and let the thing burn to the ground. But a lot of people are gonna hate me when I say that, because like we should just keep fighting, right? We should just keep voting CPC harder and a UCP harder, and
I don't think she's going to do that. It's not in her political best interest to do that at all. So I don't think she will. But again, that's why I harken back that we need to keep this in the hands of the people, not the politicians.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
We need to for as long as possible.
yeah.
Yeah.